I've got an interview tonight. It's Saturday night, June 7th, starting at 8 p.m. Pacific time to approximately 10 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a live show, so if you want to ask questions or participate or just watch it live, that'd be great. It's always good to have listeners who really want to ask questions or cover some certain subjects or want me to cover certain subjects. We can do that and then, kind of go along with that. It works out really well. So I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. So it is tonight, like I said, June 7th, Saturday night, starting at 8 p.m. Pacific time. And it's Spaced Out Radio. Let me get it's called Spaced Out Radio, the After Hours Show. And I'll put a link in the description for this video, so that way you can just click on the link and you won't have to really search for anything. So it'd be good to have you there. Just a heads up. Anyways, there's a couple things that I just wanted to talk about. It's just related to people trying to find themselves or trying to find answers or whatever else. I mean, you can set your sights on a certain path and it might lead you to another one. That's kind of how things work out. I mean, I went in all different types of directions. And presently I'm in a direction where I don't know where I'm going, okay? So don't feel like you're out in the distance or you're out on alone. No, we all run into these certain circumstances. And there's not much you can do about it other than just continue to push ahead. And then fortunately, at some point, you'll either get something that'll fit into that puzzle piece that you're looking to fill, and then it'll move you ahead. Might be a half a step, might be a full step, might be, a couple hundred feet, whatever. It'll get you moving ahead. And sometimes it's just hearing a word from somebody else. So, don't lose faith. Don't lose your drive. I continue to work on the taking back the energy. I'm trying to find other avenues for that so that people can utilize other things. But I always try to push people to find things for themselves. And if you find something that works well, share it with everybody. I mean, I know there's probably not going to be a large amount of people that are probably going to be doing this. I just don't anticipate it. It's hard enough to get people to listen to something or understand or agree with something, and then it's a whole nother thing to get people to participate in something. So I know there are a lot of really driven people out there. I mean, there are a few driven people out there that are really going to put forth the effort, and I really appreciate that. I mean, we all should appreciate that because it's working for all of us. So I just ask people to do the best that they can and to try to help themselves and help everybody else in the meantime. So that's just kind of my shtick for the day. But other than that, when you're looking for your own truth, you have to remember that most truth is usually inside of a kind of a deep hole, and it's covered up by layers and layers of lies. And they're usually believable lies that seem, wow, okay, well that makes sense. I can adopt that because, I went through all this process and I found this information, so it's got to be true and it makes sense. That's what happens to all of us. We go through this process and we've gotten all this way. And we think, okay, well, now I'm going to adopt this because it makes sense. It really, it's understandable. So, this must be the truth. Well, unless you put it to the test over and over and over again, you're not really going to know if it is or not. But it's convenient. Not that you didn't put forth effort, but it's convenient in the way that you seem to find it, and it's okay, it's there. But usually, like I said, the truth is under many layers of those convenient lies, or those believable lies. So that's why we have to be very selective on how we adopt things. Now, I'm not just talking about going through the process of, out of body or anything else. It could be anywhere in life. I mean, the truth, you can be digging it up physically. When you're dealing with things on a physical basis versus a non-physical basis, it's going to be a lot of the same. Any beings that you encounter, whether it's physical or non-physical, can't believe them. You can't take anything at face value. Even if it seems like a credible being, that doesn't mean that what they are going to convey to you is going to be the truth. So everything has to be weighed, taken with a grain of salt. You document it, and then you move on, and you adopt what you can. And if you find out in the future that it just doesn't work, then you'll have to, reevaluate. So we do the best of what we can with what we have to work with. And as we move along down the line, things will change and they'll evolve. And so will our beliefs, or so will our experiences. And our experiences are going to dictate a lot of what's going on. So our experiences way more into of the reality than just what we believe. I mean, if we based our beliefs on experiences, that's a whole nother story. That you've got more credible evidence to put forth. But don't be afraid to even question what you've believed in the past, even through your experiences, because at some point you might have another experience that doesn't agree with what you've done in the past. So now you've got to reevaluate that situation. And think about it, you're probably always going to be going through that phase at some point. Things are going to evolve, things are going to change, and you're going to have to reevaluate everything, maybe from the very beginning. It's just the way things work out. It's frustrating, and the whole point of it is, the more frustrating the process is for you and for me and for everybody else, that means there's going to be less people who are going to follow through with it. If you think about it, if you want people to go down a certain path, what you're going to do is you're going to add more resistance to the path that you don't want them to go through, and least resistance in the path that you want to funnel them to. So the path of truth and the path of reality is going to have a lot of resistance, so that most people will run out of steam and take another path because it's easier. Because they feel, I'm never going to get to the truth anyways, and I don't have my full life to go through all this. And this guy seems to know what he's talking about. And, I've got to draw the line somewhere. Okay, that's that. If you're going to be in a game, or if you're going to be in a system, the system is going to want to funnel you to a certain direction. And the easier, more viable direction. Most people won't put forth the effort to get to where they need to go. They just give up. But what else do we have to do? What else do you got to do other than push forward? Okay, you got a little bit of resistance. What's that? What in life is so much different? I mean, what in life doesn't give you resistance? What isn't hard? And what else are you going to do? If at least you're working for yourself, at least you just keep moving. You got to keep going farther, you go farther. Running out of steam and just giving up, okay, so you're giving up on yourself. Where's that going to get you? That's where you have to look at it. What else are you going to do that's important? Nothing. You have to make this a priority in your life. Doesn't have to be the only thing that you do in your life. You have to do it within reason. But if you really wanted to be a doctor, if you really genuinely wanted to be a doctor, then you would go through the process. And you would complain about it, and you would go through the struggles, but this is a different process. This process is going to be the difference between freedom and not. So if you want to keep coming here, then Give up and take the easy road. If you don't, then you have to keep pushing forward. And like I said, what the hell else you got to do that's important? Everything here is just keep you busy. Because what happens is everything you amass during life, whether it's money or cars or houses, when you die, it's all gone. None of that stuff goes with you. All the stuff that you worked so hard for this in your life, when you die, reset button. So all the things that you think, people think that are valuable here mean absolutely nothing. Once you go, somebody else gets it. It's all gone. None of it comes with you. But the thing that does stay with you is your freedom. Now that's going to be around. But you decide whether or not, if you want to keep going through this process of born and reborn and just starting over every time. I mean, if it was a game where you got to start over 5 times and then you leave, not a big deal. You can go back home, whatever. But this is eternity here. You're stuck in the circle. You're stuck in the recycling process, and you have no control over it. People will tell you that you do, but if you did, we wouldn't be here right now. No matter what you may believe, what happens afterwards, if you can't back it up with evidence, your own experiences, for sure, then how do you know? I spent a lot of time away from here. And I don't know everything, not even close. The more I know, the more I realize I don't know. Yeah, it's frustrating. But what? So what? It's frustrating. If I was running the game, man, it would be hard. I'd make it hard too. So, I mean, that's how it's running. Nobody's going to make it easy for you. The only person that's going to make it available for you is yourself. So put forth the effort. Like I said, nobody's going to do it for you. And like I said, tonight, June 7th, 8 p.m. Pacific time, Spaced Out Radio YouTube channel. I'll see you there, and I'll put the description or the link in the section below in the description of this video. See you there.